prefer to get close and directly aim for the target.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is SkeetV2, and we are going to go over some of these updates from the 9.1 update. There's some new stuff, mostly little tweaks. They've added some features to it. Nothing entirely major. A couple of them that are actually major updates that needed to be done for a while, but we're going to kind of get into it and kind of see, you know, what we got here. Before we get started, they did add a surprise attack mode. It's a feature to help adapt to the changing dynamics of the battlefield. If it's enabled, you'll be able to gain some bonuses. And also, you can check during the warm-up phase to see if surprise attack mode is enabled or not for that conquest. So your alliance members, they can go to territory of any neutral village on the conquest map, including the ones that are being built, and the airlift recovery time on the map will be reduced. You can complete a series of missions. It adds you some little extra buffs, etc. Do keep in mind though, in this mode, strategic places no longer buff you or generate alliance revenue. You only receive a portion of what you would normally get related to the strategic places during the conquest. Another big feature that they added that I'm actually excited for is the voice channel. You can now create voice channels to be able to speak with alliance members, AG leaders. The leaders of the alliance can also, you know, have meetings, etc. You know, whatever people want to use them for at that particular point in time. It's a great feature that they added. It's been a long time coming. They've needed it for a while. So I'm excited for that one, to kind of see how it works out, you know, during like battlefield engagements and things along those lines. Alright, so let's start getting into looking at some of this stuff. So first off, we're going to look at the officer missions. They added a quick deploy now. As you can see, all mine are going currently. But when you click on these, it will show a list and it will automatically select officers for each mission to get a 100% success rate if it can. When it does get it, it will have right here, it'll say that it, you know, all of them are 100%, and then once you get done with that, you can send it on its way and quit worrying about having to go through there one by one all the time, which is very time consuming. It was, in my honest opinion, a nuisance to go through there one at a time, select the officers, then start the mission. Now that will get rid of the whole wait time of having to go and do it. So that is a pretty cool feature. I'm pretty happy with it. Like I said, you know, it was just they just did something that was needed for a while. So that was a great job by Lilith themselves on part of that. The next thing I want to talk about is the coordinated march feature. This is probably the coolest thing yet, and I am so excited for it. So everybody knows how it is whenever you go on a battlefield, you're moving your base, you send your troops to the location where your base is going, and your helicopter, your tank gets there far before your artillery does. So then artillery gets picked off, your tank and helicopter gets picked off, whatever it may be. So for instance, whenever I send all my troops out to this portion, the helicopter in the main battle, as you can see, they're far faster than artillery. So the cool thing about the coordinated march is when you click and hit coordinated march, everything moves at the speed of the slowest unit. Everything will arrive at its destination pretty close to the same exact time. You don't have anything to worry about it. Everything just moves at the same speed, and it's a lifesaver at this point. You know, that's something that I was hoping that they would do eventually, and they caught me off guard by actually doing it this time.
I hear it.
So let's get these troops back up to where they need to be. Another few little things. You know, these are just things that you can't really show. It's just things they've added into it. Double confirmations of notifications and optimizations. Now it has a double confirmation step when you do prototype research and also when using large amount of pit crates. So that way you don't accidentally use every single one of them if you don't want to use them all. The supplies interface, you'll now see a red dot on like important resource items when you receive them, but once you view the tab they'll also go away. And then you'll also see a red dot when limited time items in your supplies are about to expire. So if anything has an expiration on it, it will now let you know, hey, you need to use this before it goes away. Which is, I've had some things like that happen, and I didn't like it too much when I figured out that it happened. So another big thing that they did that they optimized is, say you're all the way over, you need to send your troops over here, so you send them. They've optimized the troop pathing. So instead of having one unit that might go all the way out this way and come up and behind here to the destination, they have fixed that. So now troops won't randomly take a path that should have never been taken. So that's a great thing that they've done. They've optimized the experience with the pathing errors. So like when you reach like a immovable spot where your troops can't go, instead of it continuing to try getting it and taking it in far out of reach places, it's going to give you a notification now when that pathing error occurs, so you can try to correct that error yourself to get around it. And then the pathing logic for the helicopters near the locked areas and safe areas, they'll start moving as a ground unit after being blocked by multiple times. So that's another great thing for conquest and things along them lines. And they've also fixed this issue where the artillery units will return to their original position on the attack move if the targeted enemy was destroyed before they could reach it. So now they will move to an adjacent grid before trying to target a new enemy. So those are some issues that people have had recently that now should be pretty well taken care of. Of course, you know, with all games, there can always be other issues, but we have to keep in mind they're going one at a time here. You know, you can't do it all in one run, but they are taking care of these issues, so they are listening. So another thing they've done, I can actually click the new version up here. They've adjusted the upgrade bonuses of the wall. So now there's additional damage to the watchtower and anti-air. So that should help a lot with, you know, the heavy bombers and, you know, fighter planes flying over, things along them lines. The next thing is the notice feature. So Alliance leaders and officers can pin and edit notices under that in the Alliance mail tab, so that way you don't miss an important mail that everybody needs to read. It'll be right there at the top, pinned, no matter what. I know everybody has had that issue where, you know, they'll be like, well, you should have read the mail, and then, you know, you're like, I didn't get the mail, and then come to find out it got lost in a bunch of other mails. So now from here on out, you'll be able to actually see them notices at the top if it's an important notice that needs to be read immediately. So that's a good feature to have. I love it. There isn't any up right now, or I would show you that, but currently there isn't any up. So this is just more on the group voice chat. It just tells you, you know, update your game to the latest version to enjoy that. It could be used in Alliance and private chat channels. Other things, so let me see if there's any armor groups up. Okay, so there is. So now inside the army group, you can see the power of the troops that are in each group, which I think is pretty cool. I'm not sure, you know, what the reasoning for it was, but I do like it. It is a cool little feature they added to it. It'll be pretty handy because you can go through there and you can kind of skim through, and if someone sent you a 5 million helicopter and it's just going to get absolutely murdered, you can get rid of it before it gets murdered. Excuse me. So you can also see the creator of the army group when you tap on a troop at the army group rally point. So it'll pinpoint them right out for you. And if you are the creator of the army group, you can transfer it now to another online member if you have to get offline for any reason. So that's another cool little feature. I know people were having issues where they send it to army group and 5 minutes later, bam, it disbands. So that fixes that issue. And I think that honestly, I have been hoping for that one as well. You know, so that way you don't have to disband the whole group. If someone else is in there that wants to run it, you can transfer it to them. You can get offline. Your troops stay in there. You don't have to send everything back and worry about getting killed in the middle of a fight. Also on the main interface, you'll be able to see the army groups that have been created there. And then another thing they did to it, some visual optimizations for the army group was done. The rest of everything that they did was they also optimized the Martyr's Watch Howie. They increased the firepower significantly. This was actually lower
I prefer to get close and direct the aim for the target.
So my
It is
Liberty
dangerous
Howitzer
but effective.
is at 17.4. My Martyr was around, I think, 16.9. And as you can see, it is sitting at 19.5. They made a significant difference to the firepower of it. They increased the armor damage a little bit. You know, nothing real major in that aspect, but they did change a major aspect of the firepower itself. And as you can tell, I'm not even fully maxed out on my modern mechanics, and I'm at 98% across the board on this. So that was a big change. I'm excited to see how that operates on the field, to see what it may do different now. So another unit change that they also made was the main battle tank. They increased the penetration depth and the sloped armor amount. Hopefully that makes a little bit of a difference, because at one point the main battle was a great field unit, but it has now become more of a sacrificial unit for tanking bases and such. So it's more like a super heavy at this point. So I'm excited to kind of see what they do now that they've increased that. Hopefully now it will be able to be used more in the field of battle against things like against like helicopters, super heavies, etc. along those lines. We'll see. There's no guarantee that it made much of a difference, but they did increase those, and that was needed for a while now. Let me go through my notes here and make sure that I've covered a lot of this. Auspicious Trio. It's going to be part of the Let the Fortunes Journey Begin. There's going to be King of the Koi event going on, Carpe Diem. It'll be triggered when you make a specific number of wishes, allowing you and your allies to find and catch koi on the map. So that's another cool little event coming up here soon. We'll know more about it soon. Here's another cool thing. They have added a daily crate to the Alliance store. It doesn't give you a whole lot, but hey, you know, a little cool little free crate that you can now grab inside the Alliance store. It's pretty cool. You know, I'm glad they put that in there. So that should be pretty fun to see how that ends up working out in the long run. Going back to my notes. Let's see here. So the only other real things that they have done, they added some further optimizations. It's just little things. They optimized the claim rewards button. You can now choose the amount of rewards you want to claim and the minimum reward level you want before you claim them. So that's a cool little feature in itself. They added pop-up text bubbles for officer voiceovers. they also added a new pop-up when dealing critical damage. That'll pop up. And let's see. And then also the museum. That some of y'all probably have noticed that this changes, because the one I had before was 4,000 tickets, had a bunch of other stuff in it, but these here will allow you to be able to get some of the more little rare things. The Eye of the Tiger, that was at one point part of specifically of an event itself, so that's pretty cool. They're going to be coming out with some other cool little stuff that goes in here, adding some more frames, all them things. But the main thing is these, the limited time offers. These will also change once a week. So once a week, these offers will change, and you'll get something different that you can see, or try to get, whatever it may be. I myself, I don't have a Liberty main battle, so I don't need the pack itself. I will wait until it's something that I wanted before that I wasn't able to get. So that's a cool little thing that they're doing now. Other than that, remote, I covered pretty sure all of it. So the first, let's go back to this. So if you look, this is the difference now that it makes with the Watchtower Firepower and the AA gun Firepower. So it doesn't look like a lot, but when you get into the 2, 3, 400 or the 2, 300 level range of the walls, that is very significant. Even at the lower levels between 50 and 100, that makes a huge difference against bombers. So I'm pretty sure I covered most of it just then. So, and then also there's that, you can claim all your rewards at one time. And now I could actually show you this. Searches for it, has a 100% success rate, deploy all missions. Easy as 1, 2, 3 now. They have changed it completely. So, other than that, I will be getting off of here. Just wanted to kind of give y'all a quick little update on what has changed in the game, and the cool little features they've added, and all the fun little stuff they've added. We don't really know much about the koi fish event right now, but I'm sure we will know about it pretty soon. Probably in the next week and a half, we'll know some more about that. Other than that, you all have a great evening. Don't forget, like, subscribe for more content. Catch y'all later.